Yeah, hi there, and I am Michael Buckhoof, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the TOEFL online course, the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. And you made a comment at my website, so let's take a look at what you say. So your name is Soofa. You say, I took the TOEFL test 3 months ago. So you had 17 points in the reading, 21 points in the listening, 20 points in the speaking, and you have 21 in the writing. So you are moving along very, very well. So you have pretty good English skills. Your current TOEFL score, therefore, is 79. Now your goal here is 23 points in the reading, 22 points on the listening, 26 points on the speaking, and 24 points on the writing. So now this is an entirely whole new ball game. So you now want to get 95 on your TOEFL exam. And you say, can you please tell me how to achieve those scores? Yes, I will do that. Now, first of all, it is hard work. I'm going to be honest with you. I've been teaching TOEFL online now since about 2007, and it really is difficult, but it's very possible. You can reach your goal, and here's what you want to do. Now remember that once you become one of my students, you will have complete unlimited access to all 700 of my vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, listening, reading, writing, and speaking lessons. And so for what I'm going to do now is recommend I'm going to recommend my 90-day TOEFL study guide for you. That's probably the most appropriate. I'm guessing, and I'm giving you a pretty educated guess here. You're looking probably at a minimum of 3 months of very, very solid preparation before you can reach this goal. It's going to take some work, and I have 3 specific recommendations, and I will talk about all 3 of them. Now, at the very end of the video, I have something important to tell you, so make sure you watch the entire video. Okay, here are my 3 recommendations. Number 1 is you want to start doing reading practice every day, about 45 minutes. Number 2, you want to do listening practice every day for about 45 minutes. And then you want to spend about 2 hours at my online TOEFL course going through all of the lessons. Now, my 90-day study guide will give you practice in the different sections on a daily basis, right? Now, let's talk about each of these in a little more detail. Let's talk about reading first. Now, when you're reading, you have pretty good English proficiency right now, even though your reading score is a little bit low, but you should be able at this point to understand many reading materials. So read newspapers, magazines, and longer books. When you're doing your listening practice for 45 minutes, you can focus on TV programs with an emphasis on news, documentary, history, and science programs. This gives you very high level English, which is comparable to the type of English you will hear during the TOEFL IBT listening, writing, and speaking sections of the exam. All right, now as you're doing the reading and the listening practice, Soofa, I recommend that you really start working on note-taking. Your notes will not be that great in the beginning, but the main thing is you start getting used to getting down in note form the main and the most important supporting points of those reading and listening passages. Now, as you do this, I want you to write 3 academic summaries each week. Each summary should be about 250 words, and the summaries should be a restatement or a summary of a reading or listening passage that you've practiced that week. Now, with these academic summaries, you don't have to have anybody check them. You're not worried as much about grammar. You're worried more about completeness and accuracy of content. You're focusing in those areas. Trust me. Not all of your writing has to be graded. A lot of students think if they're not writing and if it's not graded by a professor or something, it's not going to be valuable. That's false. A lot of writing practice is going to help you. So start writing 3 academic summaries each week. Similarly, you also want to practice speaking about those reading and listening passages. Therefore, I recommend maybe 3 to 5 oral summaries each week. Your oral summaries should be approximately 60 seconds for each of those. Again, you don't have to have anybody listen to those. You're just doing that on your own. And I do recommend that you record your voice as you summarize those reading and listening passages. Now what are you doing? You're getting some great reading practice. You're getting some good listening practice. You're also getting good note-taking practice, and you're getting integrated writing and integrated speaking practice. All of these things are good. Remember, you're spending about maybe 1.5 to 2 hours every day over the next 90 days just doing those first two things. The main thing is, don't fall off the horse. Do this every day. You want to practice over and over and over and over. Studying for TOEFL is kind of methodical. It takes practice. Remember, though, you're choosing the reading and the listening materials, right? You choose things you have an interest in. You're more likely to practice if you have an interest in those areas. Now, my third suggestion is that you start going through my 90-day TOEFL study guide. Now, some lessons you can finish very quickly, Soofa. For example, vocabulary lesson 1 or vocabulary lesson 2. Other lessons, for example, speaking lesson number 7, that will take more time for you to review and go through. And some of my vocabulary lessons, it's not a matter of just, reading the lesson. It's a matter of learning the words in the lesson. So my vocabulary section will help you master 1,700 TOEFL level words. I'm telling you, if you can learn those words, you own them. You need to put these words on note cards. You need to study the note cards. So you have to create some lists and you have to create some note cards for these particular words. And you will dramatically increase your score if you can learn those words. All right, so those are my suggestions, really. Those are my 3 main suggestions. Now, as I said, there's something important I wanted to tell you at the end of this video. Now, one of the first things, Soofa, you will see in my 90-day TOEFL study guide is a pronunciation pretest. Please complete that pretest immediately because it's important for you to see what kinds of problems you need to solve right now as it relate to the following: vowels, consonants, syllable division and grammatical word endings, word stress, sentence rhythm, intonation, and thought groups and blending. So once you do the pretest, Soofa, I'll let you know which areas in the pronunciation section of my course that you should focus on, and then you can begin studying. So the reason I bring this up is it takes time to solve pronunciation problems. It's not something you can solve easily. Now, the same thing with vocabulary. It takes time to improve vocabulary. So you should really hit the ground running very quickly with the vocabulary and the pronunciation sections of my course. All right. Anyway, thank you for your comments. Have a great day and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.